For a long time, the galaxy believed that Earth was gone. It was not written in modern maps, not remembered in the great halls of alien empires. To many, Earth was just a story told by old travelers, a myth with no proof. But some whispered that Earth was not destroyed. It was hidden, sealed away for a reason no one understood. In the Grand Council of the Galaxy, leaders often argued about legends. The Vathar Empire called it superstition. The Zoran Alliance said it was a tale for children, but deep inside, a few scholars felt fear, because every myth in the stars has a seed of truth. Captain Arlen, a young explorer from the human colonies far from the center, was not like the others. He had studied old archives, dusty records, and forbidden maps. One night, his ship detected a signal, faint and broken. The signal came from a region marked on every star chart as void, do not enter. His heart raced because the signal had one clear word in it, Earth. The crew did not believe it at first. They thought it was a trick of the machines, but the signal repeated again and again. Old codes, ancient human language that had not been used for thousands of years. It was calling for someone to listen. When Arlen brought the discovery to the council, they laughed. The alien leaders mocked him. They said humans were weak, scattered, and forgotten. How could a small, broken world shake the galaxy? But the council chamber grew quiet when the recording played. A voice echoed in the air, soft but strong. We are not gone. We are waiting. Fear spread in the room. The elders of the Yulon race looked at each other, pale with memory. They had heard this phrase before, in secret warnings passed down from their ancestors. They remembered a time when Earth fought wars unlike any other, when human fleets had vanished into silence, never to return. Now that silence was broken, Arlen knew had he had to do, the council would never approve. They wanted to bury the truth, to keep the galaxy calm, but curiosity and duty burned inside him. If Earth was alive, if the legend was real, then humanity's destiny was not lost. It was waiting behind that seal. He set course for the void. His crew was nervous. The space ahead was dark, filled with storms of energy that bent scanners and confused machines. The closer they went, the stronger the signal grew. It was like a heartbeat, steady and powerful, guiding them through the shadows. On the seventh day, they saw it. A massive barrier of light stretched across the stars. It was not natural. It was not made by any alien power they knew. It pulsed with energy, guarding something behind it. And in that moment, everyone understood. This was the wall that sealed Earth. The crew gasped in awe. Some wanted to turn back. Others whispered prayers. But Arlen stood at the front of the ship, his eyes locked on the barrier. He whispered, Earth is not gone. It has been waiting all this time. The ship trembled as it approached. Symbols appeared on the barrier, glowing with strange light. They were human symbols, old letters from ancient Earth, and they spelled a message clear as fire. Not yet, but soon. Fear turned into silence. The galaxy thought Earth was forgotten. But in truth, Earth had chosen to hide, to seal itself away until the right moment came. Now that moment was near, and the galaxy would never be the same again. The discovery of the barrier did not stay hidden for long. News spread through the council like fire in dry fields. Whispers traveled from one empire to another. The word was dangerous, yet no one could stop speaking it. Earth, in the dark chambers of the council, fear and greed mixed together. Some leaders wanted to send fleets to destroy the barrier before it opened. Others demanded secrecy, warning that even speaking about Earth could invite disaster. But the truth was already loose, carried by smugglers, traitors, and spies. The galaxy was trembling, and no one could control it anymore. Captain Arlen became a name spoken in both admiration and hate. Some called him a fool who would doom them all. Others called him a hero who brought back the lost path of humanity. But Arlen did not care for titles. He only cared about what was behind that wall of light. His ship floated close to the barrier. Every hour, the symbols glowed brighter, shifting in patterns. They were not random. They were messages, but only humans could read them. The crew watched as Arlen slowly translated the shining words. They sealed us. They feared us. They will fear us again. The meaning was heavy. The galaxy had not sealed Earth. Earth had sealed itself. The realization hit like thunder. Why would a world hide itself from the stars unless its return would change everything? The crew argued day and night. Some wanted to break through the barrier. Others begged to leave before the seal awoke fully. But Arlen stood firm. He said softly, "If Earth chose silence, it must have had a reason, but silence cannot last forever." Then the storm came. From deep space, alien warships appeared, sleek, black, and cold. They belonged to the Vathar Empire, one of the most ruthless powers in the galaxy. Their commander's voice filled the comms, sharp as steel. "You will leave at once, or your ship will burn." The crew panicked. Everyone knew the Vathar showed no mercy, but Arlen's gaze did not waver. He pointed to the barrier. "Do you not see it? Even your weapons cannot match what waits behind this wall." The Vathar commander laughed, a sound without warmth. "You humans are insects. You think this myth will save you. No wall will protect you from us." He ordered his fleet to fire. Streams of plasma lit up the void, crashing against the barrier, but instead of breaking, the wall answered. A shockwave of light burst outward. The Vathar ships were hurled back like toys in a storm. Their shields cracked. Their weapons died. In silence, they drifted, powerless. The crew of Arlen's ship stared in awe and terror. The barrier had defended itself. "It was alive," Arlen whispered. "This is no prison. This is a guardian." The glowing symbols shifted again. This time the words burned with terrifying clarity. "We sleep, but we remember. Do not wake us before the appointed hour." The galaxy had always believed Earth was weak, forgotten, lost. Now it was clear. Earth was waiting, watching, and stronger than anyone imagined. The Council feared it, the empires dreaded it, and in the silence of the void, even the Vathar, the proud conquerors, trembled in fear. But Arlen felt something else stirring. Not fear, but destiny. He realized that the return of Earth would not just shake the galaxy, it would decide its future. And deep inside, he knew the barrier would not hold forever. One day soon, it would break, and when it did, the galaxy would never be the same. The galaxy could not sleep. Rumors of the barrier spread faster than any fleet. Every station, every outpost, every empire spoke in hushed voices, and in every whisper, one word returned again and again. Earth. The Council tried to silence the news, but silence is weaker than fear. The more they denied, the more people believed. Merchants swore they had seen lights in the void. Pilots claimed they heard voices on dead channels, and across the stars strange signals began to echo. On Arlen's ship the crew grew restless. Their instruments picked up waves of energy unlike anything known. It was not random noise, it pulsed like a heartbeat, and with every pulse systems all across the galaxy flickered. Engines stalled, weapons failed, shields collapsed. The barrier was reaching out. Arlen stood in silence as the walls of his ship glowed faintly. The metal itself seemed to hum with ancient resonance. Then words appear. D on their main screen, written in old human tongue. "You are early, we are not ready." The crew gasped. It was not a recording, it was a message directed at them. For the first time, they realized they were not observers. They were being watched. Far away, the Vathar Empire licked its wounds. Their fleet had been shattered like glass against the barrier. Their pride burned, their fear hidden behind threats. In their war council, the Vathar leaders screamed for vengeance. They swore they would bring every weapon, every ship, but even they hesitated. For the first time, the Vathar feared something greater than themselves. Meanwhile, the Zoran alliance began secret talks. They did not want war with Earth. They wanted what Earth had. Their spies whispered of weapons that could bend stars, of knowledge buried for ages. If Earth had sealed itself, then the key to its seal might also exist. And if someone found that key, they could rule the galaxy. On Arlen's ship, the barrier trembled again. The crew felt it like thunder through their bones. Then a flash of images filled their minds. Wars long past, fleets burning, empires falling. It was not just a memory, it was a warning. Earth had fought the galaxy before, and it had chosen silence only after victory. They had not been defeated, they had walked away. Arlen staggered back, his voice shaking. Earth did not hide because it was weak. Earth hid because it was too strong. The realization spread through the crew like fire. The galaxy thought humanity was scattered, broken, forgotten. But the truth was darker. Humanity had chosen to sleep, to seal itself, because the galaxy was not ready for what they had become. Then the barrier shifted, a small crack of light opened, no larger than a star. From it came a sound, low and deep, a voice not of one person, but of many, united as one. We remember the wars, we remember the fear, we remember the betrayal. When we return, there will be judgment. The crack closed, but its echo remained in every heart. The crew fell silent, even the saint. Ron just among them trembling, for now they understood the truth. Earth was not asking to return. Earth was warning that it would return. Back in the council chambers, the leaders argued in madness. Some begged to prepare alliances, others demanded fleets to be built. A few even suggested bowing before Earth before it was too late. But one fact stood above all. The galaxy was no longer in control. The galaxy was waiting, helpless, for the moment when Earth would awaken, and far beyond the barrier, unseen by any eye, the sleeping world of Earth stirred. Lights burned in ancient cities, engines long silent roared in hidden chambers, and the heartbeat of humanity grew louder, shaking the stars themselves. The galaxy was restless. Every empire prepared fleets. Every council chamber burned with arguments. Some wanted to attack before Earth fully returned. Others wanted to beg for peace before it was too late. But no one could agree, because no one knew what Earth truly was. On Arlen's ship, the crew felt the change first. The barrier no longer stood silent. Waves of light rolled across its surface, and the hum of its energy filled every channel. Then, without warning, the darkness broke. The barrier opened, and behind it, Earth was revealed. The crew gasped. They had expected ruins, a dead world frozen by time. Instead, they saw a planet glowing with life. Vast cities of crystal and steel stretched across continents. Oceans sparkled with ships that defied gravity. Above the skies, stations larger than moons hovered like guardians. Earth was not weak. Earth was advanced, far beyond anything in the galaxy. Alien fleets hidden in the shadows moved closer. They wanted to see, to measure, to prepare. But the moment they entered the opening, they froze. Their systems shut down as if an invisible hand had crushed them. Engines died, weapons failed, shields collapsed, and one beating. I won. Their mighty warships drifted powerless in the void. A voice spoke across every channel. It was calm, steady, and unmistakably human. You watched us sleep. You mocked our silence. You forgot our strength. Now you will remember. The galaxy trembled. In the Vather Empire, their generals screamed in rage. They had sent their strongest fleets, yet none had returned. The Zoran Alliance sent desperate secret envoys. They wanted to beg, to trade, to join. But deep down, they all felt the same fear. Earth had not been hiding in weakness. Earth had been preparing. On Arlen's ship, the crew was frozen with awe. The planet below pulsed with power. Machines older than memory roared awake. Beams of light rose into the skies, reaching beyond the stars. For the first time, the galaxy saw the arsenal humanity had built in silence. Weapons not made for conquest, but for absolute dominance. Arlen whispered, his voice trembling. They were never gone. They were waiting for this moment. The voice from Earth spoke again. We sealed ourselves because the galaxy was not ready. We saw greed, war, and corruption, and we chose silence. But silence does not last forever. The alien fleets that still lingered turned in fear. Even the proud Vathar retreated into the shadows. But the message was already clear. Earth had returned. And its return was not just a beginning. It was a warning. In the hidden halls of the council, leaders collapsed into silence. The truth was heavier than any war. No empire, no fleet, no alliance could stand against what they had just seen. For the first time in history, the galaxy was not debating how to control humanity. The galaxy was debating how to survive humanity. Far below, on the shining world of Earth, billions of humans raised their eyes to the skies. They had waited in silence for millennia. Now their voices were united in one thought. We return not as victims, but as masters of our fate. The heartbeat that shook the stars grew louder. The galaxy knew this was only the beginning. The true return of Earth had just begun. The galaxy had seen powerful fleets before. It had seen empires rise and fall, but nothing prepared it for what Earth revealed. The skies above the planet glowed with structures that dwarfed moons. Machines of impossible size circled like guardians. Each one pulsed with energy that bent space itself. Even the strongest scanners could not measure their power. It was as if Earth had reached far beyond the science of the stars. Arlen's crew stared in silence. They were explorers, fighters, dreamers. But never had they imagined this, one whispered. These are not ships, these are gods of war. The voice of Earth returned, calm yet unshakable. We slept not because we were defeated, we slept because we chose it. We built in silence, we waited in patience, and now you will see what we became. A ripple of light spread across the void. From beneath Earth's surface, vast doors opened. Rising slowly came fleets unlike any the galaxy had ever seen. Ships that shimmered like silver storms, vessels with hulls that reflected starlight like mirrors, and engines that left no fire, no smoke, only silence. The Vathar Empire had gathered its second fleet. Thousands of ships, proud and strong, they rushed forward to challenge Earth, but as they crossed the line of the barrier, everything ended. Their weapons would not fire, their drives froze, and their mighty ships fell apart as if time itself had consumed them. The galaxy watched in horror. No missiles, no plasma, no blade had been used. The arsenal of Earth did not destroy, it erased. In seconds, the Vathar fleet was dust, scattered into the endless dark. Fear spread faster than light. The Zoran Alliance abandoned their secret missions. Their spies returned trembling. One whispered to his leader, "We saw machines that could move stars. We saw weapons that could silence suns." The Zoran Ru, Lear buried his head in his hands. How can we stand against such a power? In hidden chambers, the council grew desperate. Their oldest records were searched. Ancient stories returned. Long ago, Earth had not only fought wars, it had ended them in single battles. And when the galaxy begged for mercy, Earth had walked away. No one knew why, until now. Arlen stood at the bridge of his ship, his heart heavy. He had wanted answers. He had wanted truth. Now he had both. And they were terrifying. Humanity never vanished, he whispered. They chose to seal themselves, to prepare for the day when they would be needed again. Another message echoed from Earth, this time stronger, heard across every world, every empire. We built weapons not to conquer, but to protect what was right. We saw corruption spread. We saw darkness grow, and we chose silence. But we are not silent anymore. Billions across the galaxy trembled, some in fear, some in hope. The weak prayed that Earth would save them. The strong feared that Earth would rule them. But all understood the same truth. Nothing would ever be the same again. And deep in the hidden core of Earth, machines older than history stirred, engines roared, power surged. The true arsenal of humanity was not just ships or weapons. It was something far greater, something the galaxy had never faced. The heartbeat grew louder. Every empire felt it. Every world shook with it. The return of Earth was no longer coming. It had already begun. The galaxy was no longer the same. Every empire, every alliance, every hidden kingdom felt the weight of Earth's return. The news of the vanished Vathar fleet spread like lightning. Entire star systems whispered in fear. Even the boldest commanders lowered their voices when they spoke the name. Earth. In the Vathar Empire, chaos ruled. Their pride was shattered, their leaders furious. They had believed themselves unstoppable. Now their fleets had been erased without a single shot. The High Lord of Vathar slammed his fist upon the council table. They think they can frighten us with silence. We will burn their world to ash. But his generals avoided his gaze. They knew the truth. Even their greatest armies would be nothing before Earth's arsenal. Far across the stars, the Zoran Alliance prepared a different plan. They would not fight Earth, they would try to use it. Spies and envoys were sent in secret. Some carried gifts, some carried lies, but each returned with the same story. You cannot reach them, you cannot trick them. They see all, they hear all, they know all. The Zoran rulers trembled, for they realized Earth was not just awake, Earth was watching. On Arlen's ship, the crew was silent. They floated near the shining barrier, and every night strange visions came to them, dreams of battles long past, memories of warriors who had lived and died for Earth. One soldier awoke shaking. He whispered, "They are not only guarding their world, they are guarding something greater, something the galaxy cannot imagine." Then the message came. It did not come as words. It came as a wave. Every communicator, every screen, every mind heard it. Human voices united as one. We did not seal ourselves out of fear. We sealed ourselves because you were not ready. You built empires upon cruelty. You made slaves of the weak. You waged endless war for pride and greed, and we chose silence, but we will never kneel. The words shook entire worlds. On planets ruled by iron fists, the weak raised their heads in hope. On thrones of power, rulers sat frozen with dread. The meaning was clear. Earth had not returned to conquer. Earth had returned to stand. The council fell into despair. For the first time in galactic history, no empire held power. All eyes turned toward the hidden world, and fear bound them more tightly than any chain. Arlen stood at the front of his ship, his voice steady but heavy with awe. This is not just about Earth, too. His is about the whole galaxy. They will not destroy, but they will not bow, and every empire knows what that means. The heartbeat of Earth grew louder. It echoed across the stars, shaking stations, shattering silence. It was not the beat of a single world, it was the beat of billions united, a sound that no weapon could silence, a promise that no power could break. In the dark of space, the galaxy held its breath. Every race, every world waited. Would Earth strike? Would Earth lead, or would Earth judge? No one knew, but all understood the same truth. The age of silence was over. The age of trembling had begun. The Grand Council gathered in secret. For the first time in thousands of years, every empire, every alliance, every hidden power sat together. But the chamber was not filled with pride, it was filled with fear. Even the mighty Vather sat silent, their heads lowered. No one spoke of conquest anymore. They spoke only of survival. An elder of the Yulin race rose, his voice shaking. We believed Earth was gone, but Earth is alive, Earth is awake, and Earth is greater than us all. If we fight, we are destroyed. If we kneel, we are broken. What choice do we have? The Zoran leader whispered. Perhaps we beg for alliance, perhaps we offer tribute. But another shouted, you do not bargain with storms, you do not buy the sun. Earth cannot be bribed. The council descended into chaos. Some demanded war, others demanded surrender, but all were silenced. When the lights in the chamber flickered, the heartbeat filled the air deep and heavy, and a voice spoke, not from any machine, but from the very walls of the galaxy itself. It was Earth. You gathered to speak of us, but we already know your words. You planned war, you planned deception, you planned fear, but your plans mean nothing, for we remember. The council froze. The voice continued. We remember when you hunted the weak. We remember when you waged wars for greed. We remember when you sought to chain us, and we chose silence. But silence has ended. Across Taun. He stares, every screen lit with the same message. Every planet, every ship, every outpost heard the same words. We return not as conquerors, but as judges. We do not seek your thrones. We do not want your crowns, but we will not bow, and if you dare to test us, you will tremble. In the Vather capital, their warriors fell to their knees. In the Zoran alliance, leaders tore down banners of pride. On worlds long enslaved, the oppressed raised their voices in hope. The galaxy itself seemed to stop. Every empire realized the truth. No fleet, no weapon, no army could stand against Earth. On Arlen's ship, the crew stared at their captain, the young explorer who had brought them here. His eyes glowed with reflection of the barrier. They are not just returning for themselves, he whispered. They are returning for all of us. The skies above Earth thundered with light. The hidden cities roared awake. The ancient machines stretched their arms into the stars, and the heartbeat grew louder still. It was the sound of destiny. It was the sound of judgment. In that moment, the galaxy understood its future. No empire ruled now, no council commanded, only Earth, silent for millennia, now awake, and the truth made the galaxy tremble.